200,000 miles from Earth. One explosion, no panic. An oxygen tank explodes 200,000 miles from Earth. 3 astronauts are stranded in a crippled spacecraft. Mission Control has hours to decide if they will live or die. The flight director looks at his team and says 5 words that change everything. Failure is not an option. Not a slogan, but a complete reframe of the question they were being asked. April 13, 1970, Apollo 13 was supposed to be the 3rd moon landing. Astronauts Jim Lovell, Jack Swigert, and Fred Haise were 2 days into their mission, 200,000 miles from Earth. It was called the most routine of moon missions. TV networks had stopped carrying live broadcasts. Then Swigert reported the line that would become famous, "Houston, we've had a problem." An oxygen tank in the service module had exploded. The command module was losing power and oxygen fast. The moon landing was immediately abandoned. The question was now survival, not landing on the moon. Mission Control faced the most complex engineering crisis in human spaceflight history. Everything planned was useless. Everything they needed hadn't been invented yet. Flight director Gene Kranz made the reframe that saved 3 lives. He replaced "Will we survive?" with "What works right now with what we have?" He moved the crew into the lunar module, an untested lifeboat not designed for this purpose. Engineers built a CO2 filter from cardboard, duct tape, and a plastic bag. They calculated power consumption down to individual watts. Every problem was reframed into an engineering question. For 4 days, the crew lived in a capsule the size of a small car, temperature dropping to near freezing, drinking 1/5 of their normal water ration, navigating by the stars because their instruments were powered down. On the ground, teams who had never slept worked through every possible failure point, solving problems that had no textbook answers. The reframe held not "Will this work?" but "Make it work with what exists." On April 17, 1970, the Apollo 13 command module splashed down in the Pacific Ocean. All 3 astronauts were alive. NASA later called it their finest hour. Not the missions that succeeded as planned, but the one that survived by abandoning the plan entirely. Gene Kranz's 5 words had done something profound. They had permanently removed the option of despair from the room, and replaced it with the only question that ever actually moves anything forward. What can we do right now with what we have? Kranz applied this reframe as a literal operational discipline. He banned catastrophizing from the room. Every time an engineer started a sentence with "we can't," he redirected them to "what can we?" The lunar module was not designed